We're going to talk about body condition scoring horses. My name is Don Henneke. I'm the director of the Equine Science Program at Tarleton State University, Stephenville, Texas. The body condition scoring system for horses was developed at Texas A&M University back in the early 1980s on a research project that I conducted working on my PhD research. Body condition scoring horses is a way to estimate the percent of stored body fat in the horse. And we developed this program in order to be able to compare horses across the country as far as the amount of stored fat in their body. We utilize several areas on the horse to estimate body fat. These areas are important because these areas reflect the way that the horse stores fat as his nutritional plane increases. One of the first areas, and to a certain extent the prime area that we look at, is fat cover over the ribs. We take the horse, split him from his withers to the last rib, halfway, and then a third of the way down. This gives us a consistent spot to measure horses. Again, it gives consistency within conformation across breeds. So we know where we're going to measure. So we're going to feel the body fat here along the ribs. Our second indicator of body fat is across the back. Again, the horse has a very high vertebral column. Fat is laid down alongside that spine, again, in a progressive manner. The third area we're going to look at are the withers. Again, horses, as they store fat, will store fat, again, along the wither area, either side of the withers. The reason that these three places are our first focus is because the first place that a horse will store fat is over the vital organs. Their first priority is to have available energy for heart, lungs, digestive system, etc. And so they're going to store fat in these areas first, over the ribs, along the back, and along the withers. Like most animals, the horse stores body fat from front to back and from back to front. So our next area, once we have looked at the ribs, the back, and the withers, our next area will be across the rump, specifically around the tail head. Horse goes next to the hind quarter, again from a storage area, because the hind quarter is what provides the horse its power to get away from danger. Therefore, fat is going to be stored once we have adequate fat around the vital organs. The horse is going to begin to store fat throughout the hind quarter. Again, this is to provide energy for the locomotion muscles, again, so that this horse can flee from predators. Once we get an adequate amount of fat along the hindquarters, again, the horse will start placing fat in the front end. Again, the first place that we'll start to see fat is along the neck, especially along this crest area. Fat will fill in here. We will start to see some fat fill in behind the shoulder. Again, behind the shoulder is in this area. It's not down here. It's in this area directly behind and above the elbow. As these two areas become adequate, we start storing fat in other areas of adipose tissue, primarily those being in the flank region, and then on the inside of the buttocks, the outside of the hip, as horses get extreme amount of fat being deposited. Look at this horse. This horse body condition score is a 5. Again, you cannot see his ribs, but his ribs are easily discernible. You can easily feel them. Again, he has fat built up along his spinal column. Again, you can, by pressing down, be able to feel the individual vertebrae, the very top of them, but you can't feel anything along the sides. They are not negative, meaning they don't stick up. So again, we've got fat fill here. We're starting to get some fat fill here along the withers. Our tail head, rump area is nice and flat. It's not sunk in, indicating excess fat, nor is it prominent, indicating a lack of fat. So again, we have a nice smooth fat cover over the tail head. Come to the front. Again, we're starting to see a little bit of fat deposition along the neck. We're not seeing any fat deposition behind the shoulder, nor any fat deposition back here in the flank. So again, this horse scores a number 5, and just sort of in the middle of our range from 1 to 9. This is a body condition score that we like to see our performance horses in. Body condition score that is sort of the minimum for a broodmare, but a horse that, again, fits the middle of the scale very, very well.